Scroll number 6. Money follows those it can trust. Clason lived until 1957. He spent his final years in Napa, California, largely unknown. He never appeared on stages. He never gave talks. He never became the kind of author whose name people recognized on the street. The book he wrote 30 years earlier kept growing without him. By the time he died, the richest man in Babylon had reached millions. He had not. The work outlasted the man's reputation by decades. That is not failure. That is the definition of a principle that does not need its author to keep it alive. He trusted the work to move without him. It did. That is the only kind of trust that lasts. Most men want the gold first and the character second. They believe that if the wealth arrives, the trustworthiness will follow. It does not work this way. Clason understood what every honest money lender in Babylon understood. Gold goes where it is trusted. It runs from the careless. It avoids the man who chases it too obviously. It moves toward the man who has proven, through his behavior over time, that he is a safe place for it to rest and grow. This is not mysticism. It is observation. The man who repays his debts promptly becomes trusted. The man who is trusted is given more opportunity. More opportunity, handled with the same care, produces more gold. The cycle compounds the same way interest compounds. The difference is that interest compounds in a ledger. Trust compounds in the minds of every person who has ever done business with you. That record does not reset. It does not depreciate. It grows for as long as you keep deserving it. Money follows those it can trust. Character is not softness. It is not warmth. It is the discipline of being the same man in every transaction. The man who is honest when it cost him nothing is not yet tested. The man who is honest when it cost him something has earned the reputation. Every time you pay what you owe when it would be easier not to, you are building something more durable than gold. You are building the condition under which gold will seek you out. Clason knew this. He built his entire life around it. Not loudly, quietly, the way all lasting things are built. I have watched men chase wealth without character and catch it briefly. The money arrives and does not stay. It finds no stable ground and moves on. I have watched other men build slowly, repay faithfully, keep their word in small things and large things, and watch the gold find them as if drawn by a current they did not manufacture. These men did not pursue the gold. They became the kind of person the gold pursues. That is a different thing entirely. Most people spend their lives doing the former and never understand why the latter keeps eluding them. Dabasser was a slave in Syria. He returned to Babylon with nothing but the determination to repay every debt he owed. Not because the law required it, not because he had to, because he had decided he was a free man, and a free man honors what he owes. He went to each creditor and made his case. Some rejected him. He went back. He paid 2 parts of every 10 he earned directly to the men he owed. In 1 year, every debt was settled. In the years that followed, gold came to him in ways he could not have manufactured by force. The trustworthiness preceded the wealth. It always does. Money follows those it can trust. Your word is the first asset. Before the coin, before the investment, before the purse begins to fatten, there is the question of whether you are the kind of person who does what they say they will do. The man who is not that person cannot hold wealth. It passes through him the way water passes through cupped hands that will not close. The man who is that person becomes a vessel the gold can fill and trust to hold it. These are not metaphors. This is how money actually moves through communities, through partnerships, through generations, toward those it can trust. I have not always been trustworthy with money. I have borrowed and been slow to repay. I have made promises about payments and not kept the schedule I announced. I have felt the quiet shame of being the man someone is waiting on. I know what that costs, not just in money but in the way a person looks at you when they no longer believe what you say. That look is the price of broken trust. It is paid not once, but every time you are in the same room. I do not pay that price anymore. I pay what I owe before anything else. I keep the promises I make about money before I make promises about anything else. This is not because I am now a better person by nature. It is because I understand what trust is worth, and I have decided that its value exceeds whatever comfort I got from the times I was late or careless or avoidant. The comfort was small. The cost was large. The math is simple. Money follows those it can trust. Clason never sought recognition. The book grew without his promotion. The principles traveled without his name attached. Banks handed his pamphlets to customers, and those customers changed their habits and told other people, and the ideas kept moving. He trusted the principles to work without him driving them. They did. This is the same mechanism by which character works. You do not promote your own trustworthiness. You demonstrate it, quietly, consistently, without announcement. The record builds on its own. The gold follows the record. Build the record, not for the audience, for yourself. Pay what you owe. Keep your word. Do this when it is hard. Do this when no one is watching. Do this especially when it would be easier to delay or avoid or renegotiate away from what you said you would do. Every time you hold the line when it costs you something, the record gets stronger. Every time you break it for convenience, you pay more than the convenience is worth. The man Clason described who repaid his debts after returning from slavery did not do it because someone was watching. He did it because he had decided what kind of man he was going to be. The decision came before the gold. The gold came after. It always comes after. It has to. It cannot arrive before the ground is ready to hold it. I am building that ground. Every payment made on time. Every word kept. Every promise honored even when the circumstances changed, and the exit would have been easy. I do not take the easy exit. I take the one I said I would take when I gave my word. The easy exit always costs more than the hard one. The man who learns this once does not need to learn it twice. Money follows those it can trust. Money follows those it can trust. Money follows those it can trust.